The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority showing an 11% drop in visitor volume this summer.
More reason we have the Strip feel like a ghost town these days in Las Vegas, with casinos echoing empty and tourists staying away from parking lots. What if the biggest reason Las Vegas feels emptier than ever isn't bad weather or crime or even a bad economy, but fees that are bleeding visitors dry before they even step foot in the casino?
So there's a looming question. Do the perks outweigh the costs? And is our city still a premier tourist destination?
Here is a real deal. There are fees that start from parking lots, which cost more than luxury car rentals, to hotel bills that triple overnight. Sin City has transformed into a minefield of hidden charges, where tourists arrive with excitement but leave with lighter wallets and heavier frustration.
Whether it's a viral $26 bottle of water at the Aria or people taking to social media to complain about high resort fees, the theme remains the same. Is Las Vegas worth it?
Today, we're counting down the 9 most outrageous fees that are draining wallets and driving visitors away from Las Vegas, turning the entertainment capital of the world into the empty capital of disappointment. Hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Number 9, resort fees that outweigh the room rate stop.
The resort fees, I didn't know I was on a resort, but I'm paying resort fees.
Before you book another Vegas room, picture this nightmare that's happening to thousands of unsuspecting travelers right now. You click book on what looks like an incredible $79 deal, your heart racing with excitement, only to arrive at check-in and watch in horror as your bill explodes to over $150. That is a dastardly magic act that no one enjoys, called resort fees, which have turned Las Vegas booking into a financial game of Russian roulette.
It's Vegas. Anywhere you go in the world anymore, prices are inflated.
In 2025, the average resort fee on the Strip hovers around $40 and $55 per night, per room, meaning a 3-night stay can easily add an additional $165 in charges, even if you never step foot in the hotel pool, gym, or any other amenity. These fees are not optional suggestions or upgrades you can simply dismiss with a polite wave. Regardless if you gamble all night, lounge by the pool, or just sleep on the bed, you are paying these fees.
No one likes resort fees, regardless of where you are in the country.
The hotels justify resort fees by asserting that they pay for essential amenities, including Wi-Fi, access to the fitness center, and local calling. But it feels more like pricing a steak dinner and delivering a plate of crackers. Many of today's guests have data plans that include unlimited data, rarely use hotel exercise facilities, and definitely do not use ancient room phones to make local calls. The issue associated with resort fees goes beyond the amount of money that resorts or hotels extract from your pocket.
There's obviously a huge reliance on international, there's a huge reliance on airfare, on air service.
Resort fees don't just derail your budget, they destroy your entire vacation before you've even unpacked your bags. If one property has a $79 room and has a $45 resort fee, just like they all do, it then costs more to stay at that hotel than the property down the street that has a $120 rate. However, you will not know how much it costs.
We're hoping, because of where our customers come from, being predominantly a drive market, less reliant on air service, and obviously less reliant on the international customer.
The drip pricing that this creates means guests lose trust with hotels before they even start their stay. Guests feel cheated the moment they check in, which means they are less likely to spend at restaurants, shows, or gaming tables, which has a cumulative effect on their entire stay that is negative. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority referenced a report that showed a massive slowdown in repeat visitation to Las Vegas, and dissatisfaction with prices was ranked as a primary issue. Warning: if you're planning that dream family vacation or romantic getaway, resort fees are about to destroy your budget and ruin your trip before it even starts. Right now, families are fleeing to Reno, Laughlin, and Phoenix, anywhere they can get honest pricing and escape this fee nightmare. If you find resort fees annoying, just wait until you read about the next fee on our list, which gets you before you even take your luggage down from your car. If you think resort fees are outrageous, just wait until you discover what Vegas is now charging for something that used to be completely free for decades. Number 8, paid parking. And it used to be free. Listen closely.
People don't want to pay $70 for parking.
What I'm about to tell you will make your blood boil. Not so long ago, free parking was sacred in Las Vegas, an unbreakable promise that said, "Welcome to our city, we want you here." That promise has been shattered, replaced by a predatory system designed to bleed you dry before you even set foot in the casino. It was a simple gesture that said Vegas wanted you to be there, that they appreciated your business, and understood visiting a city like Las Vegas was already risky with your finances. Flash forward to 2025, and the once goodwill gesture is totally replaced with blinking digital pay stations, credit card readers, and parking fees that will envy garages at most airports.
Tomorrow is the day many locals have been dreading. In a matter of hours, you'll have to start paying to park at MGM Resort properties.
As of today, the cost of self-parking at most major resorts on the Strip is between $18 to $25 per day. But valet parking can easily run between $40 to $50, not including the tips that are more of an expectation than a choice. For example, a couple spending the typical 3 nights for a weekend can easily spend $100 to $150 just to have the privilege of parking their car in essentially a concrete box underneath the glaring Mojave Desert Sunday. And don't think locals in Nevada are exempt, because more garages on the Strip are now charging anyone during peak hours, including Nevada residents with valid Nevada ID during special events. The transition from free parking to parking fees was introduced on a small scale, under the guise of an operational necessity, when the crowds began to grow in the 2010 and 2019 window.
In about 7 hours, your days of parking for free at MGM properties come to an end. Even if you're a local, this is the grace period given to Nevada residents when the company started paid parking this summer.
Although casino executives presented it as a much-needed security and infrastructure improvements, the reality behind the scenes is much more simplistic than any corporation could phrase within their declared safety and operational improvements. And that is, parking fees, revenue, are simply a revenue grab. In contrast to many other cities where hotel operators compete with the independent lots and garages for parking revenues, this dynamic is not present in the Vegas natural casino gaming. In Vegas, casino operators are competing for gambling dollars, entertainment spending, and dining revenues.
Good evening. Over 600 cars parked illegally in a Las Vegas community this morning, according to neighbors who say the county just won't help.
This makes parking fees feel even more predatory, that guests are being charged just for the opportunity to spend even more of their money. It's only natural that when visitors feel nickel and dimed before they even play their first blackjack hand or get their first cocktail, they will feel less willing to spend once they are inside the casino. Further, there is a significant ripple effect that is affecting how people perceive and experience Las Vegas.
Coming from the Himir Noah Kadain Meretz St. Michael's Ethiopian Christian Church in the West Valley.
But the fee assault doesn't stop once you've parked your car. It gets even more personal when hotels start charging you for the basic right to access the room you've already paid for. Number 7, early check-in and late checkout penalties.
Hidden fees for hotel stays and live shows are on their way out, Denise.
That's because the Federal Trade Commission today issuing its final ruling that the advertised cost.
There's no better representation of the new Vegas hospitality experience than when you are charged extra for the privilege of arriving before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, especially when your specific room is already clean, empty, and simply waiting for you to arrive. In 2025, if you wish to check into your room early at many hotels on the Strip, the early check-in fee will vary between $30 and $75 depending on the day of the week and how busy that hotel thinks it may be, based on predicted reservations.
All that time comes from scouring different websites to find the one that hits you with the least surprise fees come checkout time. But with the new rule, the first price you see is the price you get.
Similar late checkout fees can be charged, possibly incurring an extra charge of $150 for a couple who goes to bed late and might appreciate a few more hours of rest. The hotel defends these fees as being somewhat operationally necessary because they need flexibility in their housekeeping team scheduling, as well as to turn the room over. However, even the most simplistic logic thinks the guests of this party city may not see it this way, but there certainly is housekeeping staff working 24 hours a day to clean rooms at other hours of the day or evening, and many times rooms are cleaned 3 or more times a day.
The price was one thing, and when I went to check out, there was $360 worth of resort fees. That might have swayed my decision had I known about it when I was looking.
So, from any logical point of view, once a room is ready, why additional payment is necessary for unlocking the door, when all reasons suggest that it is just an automatic swipe of another credit card? In a city that never sleeps, and where it could easily be argued that virtually every hotel is cleaning rooms more than expected and operating 24 hours a day, their policy of prohibiting room access may appear more like a coordinated shakedown than a legitimate business operation.
So this FTC ruling is going to save a lot of people a lot of money, but more importantly, it's just going to be more transparent and make it easier for them to make a decision.
For travelers arriving on early morning flights from across the country, these check-in fees inadvertently make for a frustratingly expensive start to what should be an exhilarating holiday. Instead of the guests being able to fully relax and settle in, many visitors are stuck burning hours, lugging baggage around in rattling casino lobbies, dining at additional expense on overpriced meals just to fill the time, or dropping even more money to store their luggage while milling around the city among strangers, feeling displaced in a place that they are paying a premium to visit. Think paying extra to access your own room is insulting? The next fee on our list turns what should be your choice into a mandatory charge that appears whether you want it or not. Number 6. Mandatory gratuities and service charges.
We do a service charge in lieu of tipping, everything's included. Servers and bartenders are not trying to get people to spend $1 million. Like, they just want people to come back again and again.
In most cities in America, tipping is still a discretionary choice based on your satisfaction with the service you received, an optional reward for effort that exceeded your expectations, and a generalized appreciation for hospitality that wasn't awful. But in 2025 Las Vegas, tipping is becoming increasingly like an item on your bill that was charged straight away without you knowing before checkout whether you wanted to or not. Today, many strip restaurants, poolside bars, nightclubs, and even basic in-room dining include mandatory gratuities or vague service charges, whether or not you would like to pay them.
Our servers, will say, oh, no, I'm on salary. They're not trying to get a tip. So it's not a transactional relationship between the employee and guest. You're a regular. Let's make sure you have a great time.
Here's where it gets absolutely outrageous. These automatic gratuities, ranging from 18 to 22%, are being stolen from your wallet before you even see your bill or judge whether the service was worth a single penny. It's legalized theft happening in broad daylight. Here's the painful part for unsuspecting visitors. The automatic gratuity typically means an additional tip or gratuity lying at the bottom of the credit card receipt. So if guests are not paying very close attention, they end up double tipping and did not even realize it.
$9 for a coffee. Like in the UK, that's what, we pay £4, £5 for a coffee. So yeah, crazy.
However, when a $14 at the pool bar magically becomes an $18 on the bill, after bogus fees and automatic gratuity, guests quickly stop feeling like customers and start seeming more like a walking ATM machine for unrestricted withdrawals. Beyond nightlife and restaurant venues, this is a practice that has expanded widely. Some resort spas now charge another 20%. In addition to already overpriced massages and treatments for a auto service fee, hotel salons automatically add gratuity on haircuts and styling, and even concierge services that were entirely voluntary and discretionary now come with a charge for service recommendations and reservations. Customer backlash and outrage against all of this establishes a clear pattern regardless of demographics. If automatic tips are making you angry, prepare yourself for the fee that can literally double the cost of your entertainment before you even see a single show. Number 5. Ticketing fees that outprice the show.
Okay, hotel fees, we've got resort fees. Those are hugely unpopular. You have, certainly short-term rentals, live shows. I mean, the ticketing fees like Ticketmaster and other resellers.
Las Vegas has always enthusiastically earned the title of the entertainment capital of the world, but more recently, the biggest shock to your Vegas experience comes when you get to the checkout page, as ticketing fees completely change what you thought was a reasonable price into a shocking budget buster. In 2023, with the emergence of the app-based experience economy, concert and show ticket fees have gone to the extreme, driving advertised prices up by 25 to 40% along the way with an endless laundry list of fees, processing charges, facility fees, and service fees that seem designed more to confuse consumers than to communicate pricing. A $150 ticket for a major headliner at the Sphere or Cirque du Soleil show can quickly become a $200 ticket before you have completed the entire checkout process. And these fees are not just at play when purchasing tickets at third-party online booking companies either. They are commonplace when purchasing from a live box office.
Here's another Travellivery tip. Avoid the ATM fees. If you need cash in Vegas, don't use casino ATMs. Their fees can be insane.
The same padded add-ons can be found when purchasing in-person tickets, effectively eliminating any hope of finding a method to bypass these fees. If families or couples are going together, the math quickly becomes painful. A planned evening out for 4 people can suddenly inflate $200 or more in ticketing fees alone before anyone has ordered a pre-show dinner or bought even one drink at the intermission.
Ticketmaster and other resellers, it could be up to 20%, 25% on top of the ticket.
How revealing are they going to have to be after this goes into effect?
The way the rule reads is they'll have to advertise.
The frustrating thing about these surcharges or fees is that they rarely, if ever, have anything to do with better service, better seating, better venue amenities, or anything else tangible that guests can actually realize. Insiders within the industry openly acknowledge that these surcharges are a lucrative income stream for venues and ticketing agencies, but come at the onerous cost of alienating casual visitors who previously viewed shows in Vegas as enjoyable experiences and do not now have any fun even in attending the show itself. Pricing has changed for shows and entertainment, from incidental or spontaneous decisions to see a show or to indulging premium experiences to create lasting shared experiences. Visitors are now focused on budgeting around avoidable fees in determining how much to spend and the overall experience. But wait, even after you've paid inflated ticket prices, Vegas has found another way to squeeze money out of every single bite and sip during your night out. Number 4, concession and venue surcharge fees.
This Las Vegas sign is usually the first stop for millions of tourists. The line for that photo is noticeably shorter this spring, and Sin City visitors are paying more.
Visit any Las Vegas arena, theater, major casino, sports bar, or entertainment venue in 2025, and you will quickly find something that feels totally off about the buying experience. The price seen on a menu or sign or digital board is never the price you actually pay for food or drinks. Many venues along the strip now quietly add concession fees, venue surcharges, or facility fees between 3 to virtually 8% on every single food and beverage purchase, plus sales tax, and automatic gratuities that are almost always added, often without notice.
We were here last year, almost exactly the same time, and it was probably 20% more this year.
These small percentage charges may not seem bad, but by the end of a Vegas weekend and on a sizable bill, the amounts can add up in terrifying speed. For instance, if you order a round of cocktails at a busy pool party and have a $120 tab, that 5% venue fee is another $6. And these fees do not include your tip. If you're at an event, whether it's a concert or a sporting event, and you want to grab a quick snack, you might find that your $12 hot dog will actually cost you closer to $15 when you add in fees and taxes. Over a standard weekend getaway, these little charges can easily add up to $50 to $100 taken out of your budget without you even knowing where your money went.
Ticket sellers and hotels will be required to reveal so-called hidden junk fees. The FTC announcing that ban in December in hopes of making prices more transparent for consumers.
Casino and venue operators are not unreasonable and will cite these add-on charges as a way to offset the growing costs of doing business. Operational costs, utility costs, enhanced security measures, and upkeep of the facilities in general. For the guests paying these charges, additional percentages for every bite and sip are offensive enough, but you also are paying for event tickets that were well over $100, premium parking, and all of the mandatory resort fees before you even have to think about the add-on venue surcharges. This can adversely compound what you are spending at a venue, especially when you consider that you have likely already paid a significant amount on just the event tickets alone.
Been off of work for like 2 months, so on call, and it's kind of slow, and I need some money.
To top everything off, the fees themselves are also often transparent, making them even more frustrating for consumers trying to budget responsibly. 10 years ago, a typical visitor could walk into a sports book, order a beer, and know beforehand exactly what they would be charged when they swiped their credit card. It was transparently priced. Nowadays, visitors share stories about being caught off guard by their receipts not matching up with what they had thought they were paying online or in person. You can see how this type of negative chatter is not going to encourage returning visits or positive organic recommendations. This only sways visitors toward off-strip locations, where pricing is straightforward, or discourages people altogether from visiting concessions on site, which ultimately hurts those very businesses. The costs are purportedly supporting financially. Just when you think you've budgeted for all the venue costs, the fee trap strikes again before you even arrive in Vegas, turning simple online reservations into expensive nightmares. Number 3, online booking and convenience fees.
According to a Friday report from the LVCVA, hotel occupancy dropped to 76% in July. That's about a 7% drop from last year.
In theory, booking your Las Vegas trip through the internet simplifies the process, saves you time, and offers you the option of a better deal than booking via the traditional channels. In the reality of 2025, booking online often does the opposite, creating another layer of frustrating costs that tack on $10 to $40 per reservation per individual simply for the privilege of using a website to purchase your trip. It's obnoxious booking behavior that permeates almost every aspect of trip planning. You discover a seemingly great midweek room deal for $109 a night, then methodically page through checkout information and suddenly see your total at the bottom end up $40 higher in what seem like random website service fees, online processing fees, or convenience fees for booking online, all seemingly created to profit corporate America in the travel industry.
I find it way more expensive. 5 years ago, before COVID, I was here.
People visiting Las Vegas have noticed the prices.
Inflation really hit bad, so I'm not sure what's going on.
These additional costs aren't just hotel reservation sites though. Popular day clubs, markup poolside cabanas, or party packages with online booking fees. Fine dining restaurants hazily add convenience charges for booking online, with reservations made on their websites, and tour operators creating similar processing fees for activities and attractions that used to be booked for the same price, without a charge. The irony of a convenience fee is an insult to a consumer's intelligence. Booking online should just be passing on or refunding the staffing and operational costs incurred for the business when the consumer books, confirms, and processes payment right at their fingertips, all on the internet and without any first-hand assistance.
The days of the $1.99 breakfast, $7.99 steaks, that's all gone.
In this economy, folks like Randy Lutke from Wisconsin are still trying to get the best deals where they can.
Instead of passing those on to the customer that is doing the work by booking online, much less ensuring and confirming your reservation, many Vegas businesses have reversed the entire idea and charge an upcharge fee for simply bookings and transactions done self-service. For budget-conscious travelers who are carefully constructing multi-stop tours of Vegas, one individual fee at a time, these booking fees add up to a real hit on their travel budget extremely fast. A couple that is escaping for a weekend trip could go online and book their hotel room. Then they might buy their show tickets from a venue website, make dinner reservations at 2 different restaurants, and book pool cabanas for Saturday afternoon. It is not hard for each of those transactions to have their own convenience fees and total over $100 or more before they have even arrived in Nevada. If booking fees are frustrating, what comes next will shock you. Vegas has even found ways to charge extra fees for the very thing the city was built on. Number 2, gaming surcharge fees and higher table minimums.
We've had so many customers say, we're never coming back to this city. You can't get anywhere.
In earlier times, the authentic charm of Las Vegas was in the democratic realm of the gaming floors, where anyone could confidently walk up to a blackjack table and sit down with $20 or $30 in hand and spend hours of utmost entertainment, and without regard to their disposable income or gambling sophistication. In 2025, that inclusive, welcoming charm has been purged and has been replaced with egregious table minimums and sharky and deceptive gaming surcharge fees that serve as the immediate liminal steps to entry for everyday, average, casual players who populated the Las Vegas threshold.
The economy, the money, they don't have the money to spend, and the fact that Las Vegas is no longer a bargain.
You seldom find yourself in a position of $25 or $50 minimum bets at primetime tables and near discrimination at basic games such as blackjack, roulette, or craps, and this reality prices out anybody who is not ready to play with hundreds of dollars at any time frame. Those same daily gaming minimums double or triple at peak hours, conventions, major events. Exciting, spontaneous gaming is severely limited for average persons or visitors on a budget. And yes, it gets even worse and promotes the further decline of gaming in the Las Vegas Strip when you factor in what insiders term premium rules, charges, and side bets requirements as hidden fees on every hand played. More and more blackjack tables are offering payouts of 6 to 5 rather than the traditional 3 to 2 odds, which significantly increases the house edge and will lead players to hold on to less money over time. Poker rooms and slot tournaments will often add entry surcharge fees, sometimes several dollars per entry, on top of the buy-in amount, taking an extra 5 to 10% off the top of every pot before a player has a chance to see a hand of cards or reels spin.
I think what's driving that largely now is just a drop in consumer confidence.
For visitors old enough to remember when Vegas rolled out the red carpet with $20 minimums and fair odds, these changes are more than changes to cost. They represent a more fundamental philosophical shift from broad access to exclusive gaming that benefits only the high roller and leaves the everyday tourist feeling uninvited, if not ill-treated. When the minimum table is now $25, one friendly game of blackjack can lead to the player having a bad run, losing $200 in 15 minutes or less, which makes the gambling very tense and not like recreation or even entertaining gambling. The mental impression of a psychological shift is, of course, more than a single play of a game. Many people are now going through casinos, seeing the high minimums, and choosing to spend their entertainment budgets in other places rather than promote their own considerable loss with very poor terms.
And so when we lose them, we're losing a very valuable customer.
This creates a scenario where lower levels of casual play means that the overall floor activity is lower and the casinos raise minimums even higher simply to achieve revenue targets based on the smaller number of participants. The economic ripple effects are measurable throughout all of Las Vegas. When the casino floor, historically the city's most vibrant and energetic attraction, begins to systematically impose price restrictions that impact first-time visitors and budget-conscious repeat visitors, the entire tourism ecosystem suffers. Less gambling means less complimentary drink service, less foot traffic in nearby restaurants and retail shops, and ultimately less memorable vacation experiences that inspire a return trip or word-of-mouth recommendations to their friends and family. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, will prepare you for the most audacious fee of all, one that hits you at the worst possible moment when you're trying to leave. Number 1, energy and carbon surcharge fees on your hotel bill.
This particular trip, that it seems to be less crowded than normal. We usually come on Labor Day weekend.
I said something to her about it, that it just doesn't seem that busy for being a holiday weekend.
The latest insult many visitors to Las Vegas will experience in 2025 could come at the most vulnerable moment of their entire trip to Las Vegas. Checkout time when they are preparing to go home, only to find a newly added item in the bill titled surcharge fee is mysteriously added on their checkout bill, making them feel like it is one last opportunity to extract money with a devastated vacation budget.
I feel like not in Vegas in general, but I feel like if the hotel said, hey, we'll give you tickets for this show if you book at our hotel, I think that'd be a great incentive.
But here's what terrifies Vegas insiders the most. This fee frenzy isn't just ruining individual vacations. It's about to trigger a complete collapse of the city's tourism economy, and the damage may already be irreversible. When visitors leave Las Vegas feeling they have been methodically drained of every possible penny for resort access fees, parking fees, early check-in fees, forced gratuities, inflated ticket costs, gaming fees, and finally, a green fee. That is clearly corporate greenwashing. That built-up anger has residual negative consequences that are transmitted through word-of-mouth endorsements to potential customers and negative online reviews.
The shop that we operate, we're near the Strip, and we can actually kind of see and feel the slow in tourism and things like that. So anything that he's willing to do economically to help out Southern Nevada, I really appreciate.
And there you have it. 9 fees that are systematically transforming the entertainment capital of the world into what many visitors now call the empty capital of disappointment and financial frustration. For decades, Las Vegas seduced millions with that legendary promise. What happens here stays here, painting a picture of consequence-free paradise where dreams came true and memories lasted forever. That Vegas is dead, murdered by corporate greed and replaced by a financial hellscape. Now the harsh reality feels more like what happens here stays permanently attached to your credit card statement, creating lasting resentment rather than fond memories.
The gaming industry, pretty smart people. I think they're going to figure this out without my input, but I think we need to be wary. We need bodies here in Las Vegas.
If the city genuinely wants to recapture its legendary magic and restore its reputation as America's playground, it's going to have to stop relentlessly nickel and diming the very people who keep the lights on and the economy running. Drop your personal horror stories and experiences in the comments below, because we read every single one. And if you want more unfiltered truth about America's most iconic cities and travel destinations, hit that subscribe button right now, because we're just getting started with exposing the hidden costs that are ruining travel for regular people everywhere.